Wolves need no armor.
Prepare for battle.
And die. Honor.
Yes! Bleed for me!
你很机车你很机车
Yes, hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It's time for game 2 between Xtreme Gaming and BetBoom, and I'm glad to report that this time DY on the silence, he's got the right facet. He's got the correct. He's got the reverberating silence. He may be silenced this game, but he won't be useless.
God, I hope that their plans end up working a little bit better, because BetBoom, I've seen them run a similar strategy versus Razors, versus some of these lineups that can suffer versus a lot of pressure. The Lycan, the DK, Miro is a specialist on these heroes, especially on the Lycan. So let's see if this TB last pick is going to be able to do things, as this hero also has looked very underwhelming.
It's looked
terrible.
I mean, you look at some of the stats across the board in pubs and high-level games, it's easily sub 50% win rate. Yeah. It's just not seeming like one of the carries of the patch, but as we've seen indeed in these pro games, these pro players, they want to try and prove something, Fold.
Yeah, I'm wondering it, because the old school counter matchups versus the Lycan, and as they mentioned, and the DK, the old one versus Lycan is you benefit from Feral Pulse, and versus DK you get the, thing, but they've changed stuff since then. And this Lycan, it's not even just versus the Razor that I do want to point out. It's versus Silencer as well. It's fantastic to be able to scout this hero. Always when you're using Wolves, Miro is one of the best ones, if not the best at the moment, playing this hero from the off lane. So yeah, I definitely have concerns for XG. I'm hoping that we get a much closer game than the last one, but I feel like BetBoom saw that last game. They're like, let's just pick a bunch of pushing heroes as well, and also just try to accelerate things too. They can push towers quite easily this time around. Let's see how these lanes do go.
Yeah, one thing's for sure. Even if GPK has a decent time on the DK against this Razor, it's not going to be to the extent
of the old one.
Of last match.
Of last, yeah.
You know what I mean? XM, he's going to get more of a game.
Yeah.
This game.
Absolutely. And overall, this matchup, the DK was winning this matchup before. Let's see how he ends up doing versus XM in particular.
Some of the other picks. Everything else, I think most people watching at home will have seen it all before in this patch. There's, I mean, obviously, like things like with Miro, worth pointing out, taking the traditional, basically kind of Wolves. We've seen, Pure tried it with the other Wolves in the carry position. Didn't really seem to look too hot. So yeah, Miro, last patch on his Lycan to this patch on the Lycan should still be more of the same, and if anything, maybe even better. It's
just better, yeah. Because if you get kills, your shapeshift extends an extra 5 seconds per kill, so you can actually just be consistent.
You could have infinite shapeshift. If they buy back and die, you can get at least 50 seconds bonus of that.
It is very strong, and it's always going to be one of those things versus Silencer in particular. It's going to be fantastic. Your creeps are just overwhelming. Let's see how this all goes. And Save.
And what about the Grim? Yeah.
Great hero. He has the Ink Swell that he did in the last patch, but also, I said, pick TB. He definitely has potential for an eventual Aghanim's as well, too, if he'd like to go down something like that. And then looking on the other side, the top lane, which is probably the strongest lane for XG and a very, very good lane, it's the Centaur and the Willow. These two heroes, we've been seeing them picked a lot. Willow definitely seeming to be one of the best supports of the patch.
So far, pretty even on the CS on this top lane.
Yep. Phoenix has gotten much better at laning. These changes are fantastic for this hero. Yeah, you got some buffs as well, too, on your damage, but it's the fact that you're applying some missed chances and everything, and eventually, if you're using Sunray, it is insane how much damage it ends up doing now.
And I guess one thing we've got to watch out for...
What's that?
...is the Aghanims on Toronto.
Well, come on, dude. No, that's just not... the poor guy.
You'll remember.
Yeah. But one thing we can look forward to is the Aghanim's Lycan with Tiny and the Aghanim's Lycan with DK and stuff, if we can get to these later rounds.
Sure, because as you say, BetBoom, they're looking to shut this down before we get anywhere close to that.
But they can scale as well, right? We look at their draft and they're like, yes, they can push and they can get a significant lead, but they can also sit back and be like, you know what, you want to scale? So shall we. So from looking at mid, we're seeing a similarity from the last patch.
I think this is sort of what the expected outcome, as you say, if you consider how these two were sort of working things out in this matchup. The last patch between the DK and the Razor.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to see this, the dragon, the poison dragon, the worm wrath, gone for the corrosive facet, so looking to really push the issue in on the early game. Very cool stuff. side pull coming out here from Q. We'll be able to deny out that money creep. And in the lane overall, you know, talking about the Tower Blade, even though the hero might have its deficits and whatnot, in the lane, Ame should be pretty okay down.
Sure. And because in terms of the Terror Blade as well, why there's such sort of a drop-off in his win rate, it's what mainly because of this innate ability.
You can't farm as well.
That means, yeah, indeed, if you're trying to do stuff across the map with your illusions separate from the hero, they're only going to be doing 50% of the damage that they were before. So
yeah,
that's quite a heavy drop-off. Of course, you get the benefit of when they're close to you, you're doing that extra 25% with them, but that benefit definitely doesn't seem to outweigh the negative, right? In the overall sort of state of how Terrorblade wants to play.
Exactly. With the way TB wants to play is just split push, get that farm up. I mean, and also with the way XG really does usually play is Ame usually plays a little bit more farm heavy. Now, Ame getting aggressive on top, onto Miro.
They should have him. I mean, the X-Force stun will come out, but the damage is done. Miro will fall. XG. Striking at exactly the right time.
+2.
Indeed, the brain drain.
Yeah, he actually this time around 2 points in glaives, a significant amount of damage that he's able to do down here. Ame having a good time. XM doing, I mean, he's doing okay, but GPK is crushing in the matchup again. 27 and 9, these extra denies. Definitely going to make a difference to get that 6 quite a bit faster.
Try to set up with the Ink Swell on the walls.
Oh, that's nice. Should have the finish. And well,
little combo. It's always going to be strong. The lane to even the later stages, scouting things out and trying to set up on heroes.
So cool is a little bit of adjustment. Sometimes you don't see the early points in Howl picked up for something like the Lycan, but versus TB, Feral Impulse, of course, the more points you put in it, when he uses his reflection, it makes the TB hit that much harder too. So you can actually use your Howl to reduce the TB's damage rather than just giving him all this bonus damage all the time with Feral. So Miro knows his matchup for sure. He's probably played it hundreds of times in post.
Look at this top lane. I mean, it's getting to the point now where Nightfall's he's farming very freely top.
Yeah, and he's sitting on a ton of stick charges too.
And XM's going to have to take a walk back to base. We saw him try and swing over, grab the bounty rune to get a refuel on his bottle. But as it was, save was already there. He got the deny on the bounty.
They're going to start hitting the tower.
Deep without the regen, he's got to head all the way back to base. GPK is getting the space to hit onto the tower. Xinqiu's going to step up.
They've got both supports here, so when the Razor does come back in, and look to poke him. This tower's already half HP. It's going to be, what, like 20% HP with this next creep wave or so.
Yeah, look at the siege creep. They're going to be able to keep it alive again with the next wave pushing in.
Hey, BetBoom, really smart move again, right? Just knowing that they can leave their side laners alone for the time being to put a little bit more extra pressure onto XM.
That's a lot of damage. And indeed, as it was, you know, Miro and Nightfall in those, you know, sort of minute of play where the supports left them, nothing bad happened to them.
Nope.
See, bottom, they're trying to chase out Miro, but
okay.
Yeah, he's perfectly fine. And in fact, the top lane, XXS,
It's close.
tree in the toss, they nearly got him there.
Phoenix, the laning is just so much better now with this miss. It is quite pesky. Okay. Not seem to care about the link.
He really doesn't. He's making a lot happen in this matchup. Already about a 700 gold lead and just a push or two away from taking that tier 1 tower. Exactly the stage of the game you'd hope to as a mid DK.
See if Ame does any type of different stuff with his build or different play style with his the way he wants to do it. Maybe he shows up to more fights or something.
Yeah,
like
I'm still waiting for the Armlet Shadowblade.
Shut the hell up.
You know, but dude, I mean, you got these pro players, they're not winning with the hero. They're just building him wrong, you know. Ice Frog intended it to be played with the Armlet. With this facet, they just don't understand. We'll get their events.
Well, they actually just have to choose that facet because the other one is, I mean, it probably needs some tweaking, I would say.
Just to recap, the other one is that it costs you, what, 20% of your health? Illusion.
He is dead.
He's very dead in the tower. It's gone, so that mid lane.
It's already about, he's getting close to double.
I thought you were going to say getting close to last game. I was just not as bad as last game.
No.
This is an improvement.
Definite improvement, but it is a significant advantage that he has over him in levels and in money. Blink Dagger is going to come out very quick, and I do feel like BetBoom this time. Last game they had no pushing heroes. This time they have 3 different ways to siege. Yeah.
Even though the hero picks are different, it does feel like it could be a similar story, unfortunately, for XG, right? Where XM loses mid, and then Arme's playing a hero that he can't carry the game on. Yeah. Because the hero ain't too hot.
Yeah, we'll have to see.
It could be, but we're ready to be proved wrong. I'm ready to see a Terrorblade win a game this patch without being too young.
1 creep from 6. gets ganked. He's chain stunned and silenced anyway, so probably would have got the Stampede off anyway, but literally what? I've experienced from hitting it.
Unfortunate.
They're just stacking at this point. Jinkyu's like, okay, I can't up the lane, so I'm going to get stacks up to catch up his Razor. He does have, what, a triple stack medium camp, double stack hard camp, and then also in his triangle, he has an ancient camp stacked, but...
I mean, on Xtreme Gaming's side, who at the sort of this early stage of the game can help who? You know, who can kind of team up and make plays against BetBoom's heroes? Is there any sort of window or area that you're looking to make plays?
Yeah, when they have Stampede and Willow ulti, they absolutely can look to get more involved and help out, so...